Hello, everyone. I just wanted to do a quick video this morning as I was looking for articles and resources to post. I wanted to touch on the aspect of why I created this page to begin with and why it's called Colorful Recovery. As being a Black woman in America for the past 47 years and reaching a point of 10 months of recovery, when I first embarked on this journey to end my dependence on alcohol, and went looking for resources, I didn't find very many that spoke to my specific experience as a Black woman, as a Black American, with our historic existence here in this country. There's been a lot of denials of support, coverage, resources that spoke to our unique experience here. And the treatment or the aspects of recovery in the Black community have basically been blanketed, a little bit whitewashed, and with the historic, let's say, discrimination within the healthcare community as it associates with Black people, healthcare as far as physical health and mental health, it was very apparent to me that something was lacking in that respect, that in our culture, in the culture of minorities here in this country, we have had to seek alternative and at most times unhealthy coping mechanisms for treating the stress that comes with being a minority, being a person of color, being a BIPOC here in this country. And a lot of those coping mechanisms have led to debilitating addictions. So when I went searching for resources to help me replace those unhealthy coping mechanisms, a lot of them that were presented were not specific to what it is I'm experiencing and what feeds into or what fed into my particular dependence. And so I wanted to put an emphasis on cultivating a clearinghouse in a way of resources that speak specifically to the BIPOC experience when dealing with recovery and sobriety and substance misuse disorder. A lot of them are tied in with undiagnosed, misdiagnosed, underdiagnosed, and sometimes overdiagnosed mental health issues that we do not have the ability to deal with in a healthy way, or combat in a healthy way. So it was my desire to bring together resources that spoke specifically to that. I know in certain circles for support groups and therapies, there has been an absence of the social justice aspect that feeds into a lot of our anxieties, a lot of our angers, a lot of our fears that complicates our ability to recover or exacerbates the addiction factor within the BIPOC communities. So it was very, very important to me that I took time and whatever resources that I had to bring this together for those of us who are having a difficult time finding those things. When my first foray into sobriety, I did a year back in 2000, between the end of 2016 going into 2018, so relatively a year where I was sober, but I did not find those components to help me deal with the underlying things that come up in society. Being a black woman here in America, being black in America, having to deal with the preponderance and the abundance of certain happenings. I don't want to speak to anything specific because I don't want to trigger anyone, but the things that come up in the news that are blatant miscarriages of justice when it has to do with minorities here in America. And in certain circles, feeling as if I did not have a space or a place to safely speak about those things and have them taken seriously as a part of my the reason why I was self-medicating with alcohol. Now, I don't want this page to be, because alcohol is my personal struggle, or has been my personal struggle. I want this page to be about addiction as a whole, process addictions, illicit drug use addiction, relationship addictions. And although I am not an expert in any of this, I do not do this professionally. I don't have any licenses or anything to speak of as being an expert or professional. I reach into my experience of over 20 years of alcohol dependence and the tools and tips and resources that I have used to sustain my recovery efforts for this past 10 months. And I've tried to pass that on. So that was my focus, or that has been my focus with this page. Since starting it, I have come across some very, very useful resources, useful groups that speak specifically to the BIPOC experience with recovery and substance misuse disorder, primarily with women of color or women in the BIPOC community, certain groups that meet and provide financial assistance, provide links to professional services that can help. So I'm going to try to spotlight those here on the Facebook page as well as the YouTube channel, so that just to add another channel of resources for us to help with this very, very serious condition that is going on. The spotlight has been made a little bit brighter, but it's still small in dealing with those things and the components of the social justice and cultural and racial aspects of recovery and substance misuse disorder, addiction, if you will. So I just wanted to, that's the purpose of this video today, just to give a broader explanation on why I started this Facebook page and the YouTube channel, because I want to be of service. I want my experience and the things that I find to be available for those of us who are struggling and not sure where to turn or where to start with our recovery and sobriety efforts. So I hope that this day finds you as well as your situation can afford you, and that you are in a space of just feeling solid within your aspects of recovery, or if you are in the pre-contemplation stages of maybe questioning whether your use is a little bit harmful at this point, that it gives you a point of reference, a point to start off, to start looking at these resources and asking the questions and getting information to help you get to a point of sobriety and recovery, if that is what you desire. So enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for watching.